Leaders provide air cover for the troops. And the first form of air cover is a good strategy. There's no point in calling yourself a leader on the backbone of a bad strategy, because it causes a lot of people to work super hard and they just dig a deep ditch to nowhere. So the first thing you have to do is have a strategy that's going somewhere. I've always encouraged companies to stay true to their core. You are what you are. But then you have to take that consistent, strong core and change it and go where the market is going. And that requires strategy. When we looked at our business at SAP, we knew what we were good at, and we also were honest when we looked at ourselves in the mirror about what we weren't good at. We knew we were the world's leading business software and analytics company, and that was a good thing to be. To be the best in $110 billion US addressable market is a good thing. But as we looked at the future, where the world was going to be in 5 and 10 years, we knew that this idea of real-time enterprises utilizing in-memory databases that were rocket fast would be huge. We knew that the consumer wanted everything to be simple, easy to consume, and fast, and the cloud was going to be the pervasive mode of computing. We knew that mobility was the new desktop, and the ubiquity of mobile had to come through in everything that we did. So we built a new strategy based on organic innovation as well as M&A to fulfill the market demands of where the world was going and not where the world was. Why is that so important? I can show you almost any company today, and I guarantee you that 50% of their sales will come from products or businesses that they're not in today in the next 3 to 5 years. In most cases, if you have a 50-year-old company, the things that got you from there to here will definitely not get you from here to there. So you have to change. The most important thing in building a new strategy along with a new vision is to make sure it's the right one. Because people know. If it's a bad idea, it's a bad strategy. You can bring them together, but it won't work. And in our case, we realized that the millennial generation was the future. 75% of the workforce by 2025 will be millennials. You have a huge emerging middle class in the world, 5 billion new middle class participants in this world economy, and they're all digital. And they're all natives of the digital world. But they value things that are very different than the baby boomers in the prior generation. They value purpose. So the first thing we had to do is have a vision with a purpose to make the world run better and improve people's lives. We felt that we should do that. We're in multiple industries in a global economy, and we could make a difference. We knew if we did well, we could also do some good things for people, and that was absolutely part of the vision. The other thing we had to do is have a strategy, and I've articulated where I felt the strategy needed to go. But here was the big thing. We brought the top 250 leaders from around the world to one place, and we role modeled the strategy. We gave them the script. And while that was interesting, the big thing we learned is they had to then give the script to their people, and they had to role model the strategy. Here was the fascinating thing. The second you told them that they get now to meet with their people and tell them about the strategy, they went into a sheer panic mode. So, ladies and gentlemen, in most of your companies, you will find that your leaders are uncomfortable talking about the strategy with their followers. We changed that paradigm, and it made all the difference in the world. The first thing is focusing on the customer, and I realize that everybody says that, but not everybody does that. The bad salesperson is focused on the comp plan. What's in it for me? How can I get my goals and my objectives achieved? And some even do it at any cost. I realize that's the 10% of salespeople out there that give sales a bad name. but it's always good to remind ourselves, the good sales professionals, the winners, that those behaviors won't get it done. The best ones focus on customer and customer business outcomes. One of the key messages I had for our employees today is I don't want to read a briefing document. I want to talk about their industry. I want to talk about their role in the company, their vision and their dreams, and how our technology can help them achieve their goals. I don't want to talk about them as my customer. I want to talk about their customers and their customers' customers. So I want to understand how they're helping their people be more productive and engaged. What are they doing to attract their customers, make them successful and loyal? How can they upsell and cross-sell their customers? And what are our solutions doing really to help them achieve their goals? When that is done well, it always comes together in a business case that's driven by business outcome for the customer. And of all the issues I've seen in boardrooms today that really matter, it's the customer's customer. How can I get in touch with how my customer comes in to my internet site, how they interact with the website, whether they're coming direct to mine or coming from another? How do I know exactly who that consumer is? Can I purpose a real-time offer to them? Can I dynamically change that offer if it was unacceptable? And can I ultimately agree in principle with that party digitally and close a deal, fulfill the transaction, and make sure the supply chain is automated to such a level of perfection that that consumer cannot wait to come back in and do business with my company? Now that, to me, is a company with a strategy. That, to me, is a sales professional that gets it. Well, you always have to stay relevant, and of course, you have to be intellectually on top of things. And I think selling power and what my friend Gerhard has done by putting all the content in a cloud-based solution is a great way for this collaborative network of sales professionals to work together, share best practices, learn from each other. So this network, this community called Selling Power, is one aspect of being better. The second one is understand where the market is going. It's mobile, it's social, it's real time. And you've got to adapt your skills to the changing dynamics of the new digital market. The world is absolutely a digital place. You're going to see things that are physical objects and physical business models consistently dematerialize as things get turned to atoms and bits. We've seen this in the GPS industry, we've seen it in the photography industry, we've seen it in the newspaper industry. So everything is going to go digital, and you want to be at the center of that digital world, that digital movement. The other thing is your network, your friends, the people that do business with you. Nurture that community. Make sure they always stay friends with you. Stay in touch with them, not just to make the transaction, but to build the network and the network's transactions so you become a force multiplier in the world. And most importantly, remember this. You can get anything in sales that you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. You need to be the role model in sharing everything you know with other people and making sure you're humble enough to extract everything they know to make your game better. This is really always about being intellectually curious, always humble, and always hungry.